USHL, JP Morosi standing by with the Commissioner Glenn Heffernan.
Thank you. Joined by Glenn Heffernan, the President and Commissioner of the United States Hockey League. And Glenn, as you look at the overall objectives of the USHL, how would you articulate those goals for this year ahead?
Well, I think obviously player development is number one focus for the league. Moving players on to Division I college and the NHL has been a top priority, and improving the player development experience, I think, has been number one. Beyond that, fan experience and making sure that the business model can work, and maintaining our partnerships with USA Hockey and the NHL.
One of the great initiatives in recent years has been the USHL Fall Classic in Pittsburgh. How important is that event to your league?
Well, it's a big event. It's not just a big event to our league. Obviously, all of our players appear there, and it's an event funded by the National Hockey League in part. And it's a great opportunity for all the scouts to be there, college and pro. But it's also an opportunity for about 80 youth teams to get to see the USHL up close and personal. So they get to have that experience as well. And obviously the scouts take advantage of being able to watch those players as they're coming up.
We talk about development, and how proud are you, Glenn, to see the number of coaches as well that have gone from the USHL to college and the NHL as well?
Well, there's a couple of recent ones that come to mind. I think Troy Ward went back, and Nick Oliver, and Luke Strand. So we've had a bunch that have moved on, but obviously big notables like John Cooper and a few others. Jim Montgomery, there's a bunch. And so it's great to see that happening and moving into different roles and into the National Hockey League and the college ranks.
Youngstown, the defending champs of the Clark Cup. What a great run they had in the playoffs last year. For the fans who want to know more about the USHL playoffs, how would you describe that journey that we'll see here again in the spring?
So that's an entirely different season. Beginning around April 13th, we go right into playoffs, and it's the top 6 teams from each conference advance. 1 and 2 will bye, and then 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. Winners advance into a conference semi and then a conference final, and then it all culminates into the Clark Cup finals. And we work in a Phase 1 and Phase 2 draft in that same period of time.
And finally, you think about the number of players who really enjoy their USHL experience. When you talk about that player experience, the academic piece, the development piece, what do you find that families want to know the most about as they have their kids play in the USHL?
Well, there's pretty stringent guidelines that our teams have to follow, is helped in part established by USA Hockey and the USHL. We've got incredible ownership that want to support those initiatives and make sure we live to a high standard. That additional cost is roughly $300,000 more per team. You're paying for skates and billets and sticks, and so there's a lot that goes into it, and obviously academic and all of the other training components that are so necessary for an elite athlete. So that is such a big part of it for parents to understand, and getting to see us, watching us on streaming services, watch the games, it's a big leap. Every player that I've ever spoken to that has gone on to college or NHL, they've all said the toughest leap for them was going from where they were and getting through their first USHL season. It is a hard grind for them. So, but I think the numbers speak for itself. We have a little over 400 athletes in the USHL, and we lose half of them every year at least to Division I college hockey, and then a bunch obviously to the NHL. And no other league in the world has put more players into the American Hockey League as well. I think over 3,000 since 2012, which is a great pathway to the NHL. So, we're hitting it on all cylinders right now on the hockey side.
Glenn, excellent points. Thanks so much for your time here today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow, some incredible stats there from the USHL Commissioner about the future of the sport here in this state. 2-2 the score.